Gareth Story Planet.
So I follow quite a lot of writers, illustrators and other creative professionals on Twitter, and I think it's an amazing opportunity and a way to interact with some of your idols and to pass a few ideas about as well. It does feel like a family, and you experienced this the other day because you got a random tweet pop into your DM, didn't you? Who was that from?
So, she's going to kill me for this because it was supposed to remain a DM message and I actually tweeted it onto the timeline. I apologise for that. But you know what? It was such a lovely message and I really wanted to celebrate the person that she is. Like, I'll be really honest. She's shown me so much love. We're talking about Mallory Blackman, by the way.
Hi, Mallory.
Hey, Mallory.
She tunes in every week, by the way. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Hi, Mallory. Not that I didn't think she would. But, yeah, it's this thing and... I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. So at the time, no one knew this, and very few people know this, but a lot of the stuff that's happened has put me in this weird headspace where I'm trying to deal with imposter syndrome, right? So
yeah, I feel that, mate.
Well, everyone does, and I think people talk about it, but people often talk about it in a way that doesn't normalize it. Okay. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And you would think that with the amount of people that talk about it, it would be normalized, but there is still this kind of taboo that surrounds it. And I really believe that it's almost a rite of passage. And that's not to say that it should be something that people feel, but you shouldn't feel other for feeling it.
Yes.
If that makes any sense. So that was always my approach to it. So when I say I'm dealing with it, I'm literally dealing with it. I'm trying to figure out a way to get my work done despite feeling this way. So I was having a particularly tricky day that day, and I just looked in my she sent the message I think 2 hours prior to me seeing it, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god, what kind of message, what vibe was I giving out to the universe that she would send me this message? And the message was just just some acknowledgement to the hard work that I've put in and the work that I do basically, and it meant a lot at the time. It really did, and it still
amazing.
does. So yeah.
Do you feel very supported within the community, the writing community?
Yes, I do. It's a really tricky one. Overall, yes, right? Because people are excited about the things I am doing, I'm trying to do. I feel like efforts that I make are generally supported.
Good.
I do definitely feel that. But it's still this, again, it's a very new thing to me. Do you know what I mean? I was bubbling along on Twitter, just existing in this small bubble and just doing my thing. And now I feel like I'm really conscious of the fact that a lot of people are looking. I don't know 5,000 people in real life, but 5,000 accounts are following me. And I'm just like, ugh, good times.
Amazing.
So it's just, and don't get me wrong, 5,000 is it's not a massive amount by comparison to some of the numbers that I've seen other people with. But then that also gives me a touch of anxiety as well, where I start thinking, if this thing continues to get bigger,
absolutely,
how weird is it going to be? And I don't know how people that have tens of thousands of followers do it. I think you have to detach, and I'm learning how to detach at the moment.
Okay,
I really am learning how to detach at the moment, because it can get a bit heated. Especially you follow my account, you see it's not always picture book Twitter. I'll be really honest. No. I tweet very much as a grown man on Twitter, not just a person that works in children's literature, if that makes any sense. So there are some sensitive issues that get brought up on my timeline quite a bit. And I'm pretty sure that some of the kidlit followers are like, oh my god, what have I let myself in for?
I like the fact you call yourself a grown man, because there's some blog somewhere that describes you as a young illustrator. And I was like, okay, that's cool. You are young to some people.
I'm not old, but I'm grown, if that makes any sense. I'm not, I'm not pushing a certain age yet, but I am grown, if that makes any sense. I can't claim youth in that way anymore. So yeah, I'm grown. And that I saw that particular post and I was just like, well, I'll take that.
Absolutely, I will as well.
I'll take it.
So let's move on over to your new work now with Macmillan. How did that come about? Because that was a commission, wasn't it?
Right. So, as I said before, we did the rounds with Look Up. We had 14 offers. That left 13 publishers that didn't get anything from us. It left all these publishers that had seen my work. Because at the time when we went around with Look Up, we didn't have the full story. We had the illustrations, the character designs, and a synopsis for what the story was going to be. Okay. We didn't have the full text yet. So, and again, that's unheard of. I didn't know, I just didn't know so much, but that was unheard of at the time. So that left all these other publishers that wanted some work. So 2017, we signed our book deal. Back in 2017, I started working on Lookup. February, March 2018, a weird thing happened. Like, my inbox went crazy. Sally Ann was sending me text after text after text from all these different publishers, even some that hadn't that we hadn't met for Lookup, that hadn't offered for Lookup.
Wow.
I got offered quite a few texts. One of them actually is a funny story. So I got offered a book called My Hair, which is now Hannah Lee's book.
Oh, yes,
So,
I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yes,
Hannah's
yes,
text.
yes.
So at the time, Hannah's text was amazing. Like, I mean, she's such a brilliant writer. I was like, wow. The only thing is, the only thing I could imagine in my head was another character with big hair. And I was like, I've already done a girl with big hair. I don't want to be the guy that does characters with big hair all the time.
Big hair
so
boy.
This is it, big hair dude. So I was like, you know what? No, I can't take this book. So it found a home with another amazing illustrator, Alan Fatima Rahan. Yep, I think I got it right. But Alan did a massively amazing job on this book, and the book's it's just dope. So glad it found a home. But amongst the other texts on the table, the two texts that jumped out at me were two texts by Swapna Hadal. And at the time, I hadn't encountered Swapna's writing.
Okay.
Didn't know who she was. And these two texts just literally leapt out. Like, once I read them, I remember I was on FaceTime to my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, these are amazing. I probably like read them out to her. And I get stupidly excited when I like something. Like, I just don't care. I just lose all... I don't care who's in the room.
It's good. It's a youthful energy you've got.
That's what I've got described as the young guy. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so these two texts just really excited me. One of them was called My Dad is a Grizzly Bear, which is the first book that's coming out. And the second book, I can't disclose the title, but it was amazing. It was funny, it was warm, it was witty, and it was imaginative as well. And as I was reading it, I was illustrating in my head, which is what I take as a sign that this is the book I should be working on. If I can visualize a book like that, that's it.
That's it. That's the
text.
marriage made in heaven for you.
So dismissed all the other texts, hit up Sally Ann, I was like, I want this one. And she hit up Macmillan, and Lorna Scobie, who is an amazing illustrator in her own right, is the designer that was working on the book. I found out later on that Lorna, because we met at the first, Lorna was the first person that we pitched Look Up to. Macmillan were the first group that we met, and Lorna and I just we just clicked straight away, and I've just wanted to work with her since then, and vice versa. So the first kind of opportunity that she got to get something going was this, and we did it, and it's such a beautiful book. Seriously, I put so much into this book because it brought so much out of me.
Oh,
like it's a fantastic book. Like, I really really love what we've done.
That's
like, and I got to draw a bear like for the whole book. Like,
a grizzly bear.
A grizzly bear, big hairy grizzly bear. It was brilliant.
And that's out in May.
It's out in May. Father's Day, I think it comes out May 14th, around Father's Day. I'm not sure when Father's Day is.
That's not in May.
Yeah. It's not in May.
June
in
is
June.
Father's Day.
Oh, before Father's Day. I don't
Absolutely.
know these things. I don't know these things. Before Father's Day. So just before Father's Day, it'll make a good Father's Day gift.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a great book. I'm really looking forward to getting my copy. My advance copy.
Oh yeah, of course.
It just looks amazing. Like, I'm really, really happy with what we did. And I learned so much working on it as well. Like, so much. I mean...
Yeah, so you're still learning, I suppose. As you are the new kid on the block, you're still learning as you go along.
This is the bananas thing about this whole thing. And this is where the imposter syndrome part comes in. So, like, I'm self-taught, one. So there's still a lot of stuff that I don't know about illustration. And a lot of the things that I've done up until this point was literally playing in my own sandpit of comfort, basically. Just drawing the stuff that I wanted to draw.
Sandpit of comfort.
Yes.
That's what a cool term that
I
is.
just made it up, I just do that. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I was just in my own comfort zone, and I was just focusing on drawing the things that I love to draw, and I love to draw characters, and that's what got us here, the drawings that I did of Rocket.
Amazing. Are you digital, by the way? Sorry.
So I'm a mix of both. So I always start off with pencil drawings. I use my light box, reproduce the drawings, get all the drawings I want, get all the line locked down, and then I scan it onto the computer and color it on Photoshop.
Amazing.
That's simple. But now I'm learning how to work completely digitally, which is bizarre. So the last two books, the Grizzly Bear book and the Cleanup book, were both done on my iPad, which...
On your iPad?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I think for what I used to do them, I'm actually quite happy with the job I did. Like, really, really happy with the job I did. I was quite surprised because they were both... Cleanup was definitely a level up in a lot of ways from Lookup. So I learned so much, and it shows in the way that I've pushed things. So where I'm uncomfortable drawing environments because I didn't get to practice them that much before starting, I've taken the books that I'm doing as an opportunity to practice them, and it shows. Like, you can see the development in the way that I draw environments and rooms from look up to clean up, and also from look up, clean up to the grizzly bear book as well. You can see the push.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, again, initially when we first started and we were doing the first book, I had this whole thing in my head where I was like, this book has to be the best book you've ever done. It's going to be amazing because it's your debut book. But then I realized that you're not going to do your magnum opus in your first year.
Absolutely.
And if you do, you've literally shot yourself in the foot for the rest of your career.
Definitely.
So let it go. And I did. The minute I let it go, I started to focus on making each book a better book than the last one in the series. And that's what we can do.
Absolutely, I agree, and it is. I think you develop and you grow with every day and with everything that you write. So I think that is very honest and open advice. But what other advice would you give if there's someone watching this video who wants to be an illustrator? What would you say to them?
Apart from the obvious draw all the time, I'd say, okay, oddly enough, I gave someone a bit of good advice today, so I'll regurgitate the same advice. Draw the things that reflect the kind of work you want. Like, really focus on drawing the things that reflect the kind of work you want. And I say that because if you draw what you think people want to see, right, and you get a job as a result of that, people don't understand how much of a commitment period each book is. You get it as a writer, I get it as an illustrator. 6 months to a year it takes me to illustrate a book, depending on how difficult and tricky the text is, and depending on how much I know, right? So imagine this is something that you are going to be chained to your desk, and I don't use the term loosely, you are going to be chained to your desk for 6 to 8 months to a year illustrating. You have to enjoy this and you have to love it. So when you're doing your portfolios, when you're doing work, when you're focus on drawing things that represent what you want to come back. That's what I would say is a starting point. Also, tackle the things that give you fear. Like, if it's not fear inducing and it's too comfortable, then you're not growing and you're not learning as you should do. So, and I say this because this is something I've had to do. Background scared the crap out of me. Like, so many things, I can say crap on this cover.
Because not child friendly.
So many things, backgrounds scare me, environments scare me, turnarounds scare me sometimes. So now I'm like, okay, you know what? Get out of your head, do them so they're terrible, and then learn from them, and then just keep doing them, and somewhere along the line you'll figure out how you do them. So those are the things.
I love your spread in look up of everyone on the common looking up at the sky, and I think that's a lovely background.
What's hilarious? That's the one I hate the most.
No, really?
Absolutely. And I say that now because the book's out, people have bought it too late. But no, that's the one I don't like.
Maybe you can do a director's cut and change it.
Well, at some point in this, later on down the line, when it's time to do, because I do stuff off the page as well, so I will be revisiting some spreads and showing people how to beef them up. So, for example, we talked about this today. I went into the Penguin office and I spoke to Monica, who's my designer. Hi, Monica. And we spoke about, we went over the proofs for cleanup, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I noticed, and I focused on this, was improving the consistency of the characters. So, like, those characters in that spread that you're talking about, they appear in the book before that spread, and they look slightly different to how they ended up looking in that spread. So, again, this is me being openly honest with people. The quality of the way I drew them dipped as we went through the book. So by the time we got that day. This is it. So by the time we got to that spread, I was knackered, and it showed. Okay. Right. Okay. Whereas this time around for cleanup, that's not the case. The character quality remains consistent throughout the whole book.
Amazing.
And I saw this and I was really happy because the first time around, again, new book, first book, I'm cobbling together how to do this book from scratch. So that dip happened, and it was one of those things that was hard for me to let go of. I didn't speak openly about it, but every time I opened the book and we got there to like the last quarter of the book, I noticed it and I was like, ugh, cringe. But now with this new book, I'm happy with it. Like, I'm really, really happy with it.
It's phenomenal how creative minds look at things differently to the rest of the world. Everybody look. It's all subjective art, isn't it? So you all see something slightly different in that. So
it is.
I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
But it's a different thing. It is subjective, but it's a completely different thing when it's your work, because the critic in you, the critic in you, sorry, not the critique, the critic in you doesn't turn off that easily. Like, and I've had it annoys my friends. Like, I can't let them enjoy my work. It just annoys them. They're like, shut up. Just
take the compliment.
Just don't tell me, because I wouldn't see it if you don't tell me. Because now you told me, I see it, and it's all I can see, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll shut up. I'll shut up. So yeah, that bit, don't look for it.
No, okay, well, I love it. I love it all. Yeah. And I think, young fellow, you have a very bright future ahead of you.
Yeah,
keep working.
I do. It's going to be, there are exciting times ahead.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very, very much for joining us. I appreciate your busy schedule. I've got a little gift from...
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. I've got a little gift from Clean Pros, who have let us use their space. Nice little tote bag and a little book to sketch your rocket ideas in.
Good times.
There you go, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
I just want to say thank you very much to all of you watching Gareth's Story Planet. I hope you're enjoying all of these videos. If you are, put a little comment below, like, subscribe, share to the world, and make sure you buy the picture books.
Please.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.